Friends. We're friends.
So I started smoking because the way that it smelled on my father's hands. It smelled like wood and smoke and sweat. Like all the worst and best parts of America that I just simply hadn't gotten to know yet. And so these days, I buy my cigarettes at a corner store. See, it's been open for like 20 years, but this Ethiopian family recently bought the business, and in the beginning, they used to eyeball me, expecting me to steal something because, quite frankly, I don't look like the kind of guy that eats at the Cheesecake Factory. You know, the kind of guy that always gets randomly searched whenever he walks through airport security, just a little bit too dirty. But as time passed, they got to know me. And after owning the store for over a year, I'm no longer the one they look at. You see, these days they watch all the young black men who come in. And I think to myself, welcome to America. This is going to hurt, but you'll get used to it. You see, when I was 5 years old, I said my first racial slur. I called my mother a honky. She laughed so hard, she spit box wine all over the table. But these days, I don't use epithets. I will never say the word because every time I have in the past, I could have sworn that I tasted gunpowder in the back of my throat. Now, just because you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, it does not put you on the cover of Cool White Boy Monthly. But see, it's not that bad of a start. Alright? See, stop this practice of assumption, like a shoe full of rice. Smile, breathe in the world around you, and give special notice to the parts that make you the most uncomfortable, because the thing that usually seems the most foreign, most commonly hits the closest to home. And only children are afraid of their own reflections when they see them in the water. And we are children that have been through more than we allow ourselves to admit. Standing on each other's backs for more than a century, and when one of the others left boot marks, the fingers pointed have usually been cut off, and the missing limbs from the past have carried this history into an easy-to-manage and fashionable package, complete with stain guards so the tears roll right off as if they'd never been there in the first place, and cargo pockets for all the extra baggage that we just haven't figured out where to put yet. You know, this way, they can just stash it somewhere where we won't have to look at it. As though history wasn't being made in such ways. Selling black history to young white Americans as though it isn't somehow our own too. That we magically had nothing to do with it. That the civil rights movement was something that just happened in the past. That it wasn't happening right now. That these slave owners and Klan members were strange foreign legions that committed atrocities in some kind of faraway land. Some kind of background antagonist without a face, beady eyes beneath the sheet that didn't return home at night and look at a family. A little girl that loved the way that wood and smoke and sweat smelled on her father's hands. A little girl that will one day have to decide what to do with her own hands, to choose what they'll smell like, how they'll carry the weight of history, what they're going to let go of, and who they're going to choose to hold on to.